joining me. And I mean, in case of the three of you, there have been no pauses. You've been relentlessly working through this lockdown. So I watched The Apartment. So, what was the idea behind it, Nikhil, to make this story about Devika, that's Richa, and then you have her erstwhile neighbor, Chirag, right? Played by Ishwak. So, what was the idea? Because it does delve into many things that people have been grappling with, whether it's mental stress, whether it's sexual harassment, a whole lot of things come into play here.
Yeah, so I think that there's a sort of liberation that a filmmaker gets now when somebody calls up or like a studio calls up and says, listen, you can just go ahead and do what you want, and you know these are the parameters that you have to stick to, which is the 10 people on set, and this much money to make the film, and you can work with whichever actors that you really want to actually you dreamt of working with. And so there's sort of liberation in terms of content that you can actually start, you run with it.
Yeah.
So Pooja, the thing was, in terms of The Apartment, what happened was, I mean, so the only Aparna Purohit of Amazon told us was that, I think told all five filmmakers was that, listen, it needs to end with a little hope in the end. It cannot just be about. I know that all of you guys are going to just jump into making something very deep and dark and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, it has to be pretty this thing, because there has to be light at the end of the tunnel. And we were discussing this in June, and we said, what light here? There's no light at the end of the tunnel. We are in lockdown, And we said, no. She said, so I think she had the toughest role to play, because she had to constantly maneuver all five of us because if you give a filmmaker the ability to just run, he's going to try and make it as real as possible. So two things actually that just kept occurred to me during the lockdown. One was this whole aspect of depression and loneliness that people were actually going through, other than the whole medical aspect of the lockdown. It was also the depression and loneliness. And the second thing was, which was a complete contrast, was finding support and friendship from people that you did not never knew that could be there, right? I mean, for instance, you live in Bombay, you live in these apartment buildings, you have not met your neighbors for the longest time because you are constantly on some hamster wheel. So put both those things together became quite integral for me as a storyteller.
So, Richa, when they came to you with this story, firstly, you were shooting during the pandemic, and also Devika's character. I mean, I could see the feisty Richa Chadha also in her, but there were some moments I was like, this is not like the Richa I know. So, what was that like?
Well, that's the fun, to do characters that are unlike you. And I wanted to collaborate with Nikhil for a long time. When he sent me the script and told me the idea, I was quite floored by it. I thought it was really interesting mind space that somebody's personal breakdown is sort of coinciding with this kind of, really apocalyptic time. Everything is shut, you are isolated, you have to deal with all your demons by yourself. So I thought that was a cool mind space to explore, this whole suicide angle, and then also the personal dilemma of the character. Will she do the right thing? And I find that a lot of women are forced to take consideration of their kids and other things. But in this case, it was a double whammy because they're both working together. She set up this media place where he's the star journalist. So that kind of a thing was interesting to me. That world was interesting to me. Obviously, so many cases from sexual harassment have come to light even in the media. So,
absolutely.
Still litigation is going on. I just thought that was a cool place to explore, along with, and the writing was very current in the sense that it was something that we had all seen in the news just 2 months ago, where it was the migrants walking back. At least you knew that thematically all these five filmmakers have come up to collaborate on something together. Like, this is a story of our time as we are looking at as it's unfolding. So that's really exciting for me that, we have a shot in there where she's either cried herself to sleep or had a breakdown or something, and she suddenly is woken up by a sound of loud metal clanging, and it goes on, and what it does to her mind space. So I thought those things were very exciting. I must mention that our writer Samyukta Sheikh's other project also won an international Emmy. So all in all, yeah, it's a great team, and this I couldn't have asked for anything better. Amazon, of course, is We've done lots of work together. But Nikhil and I, we have worked together for the first time. It was lovely working with Sumit, who I'd done a play with like 10 years ago. He directed me in a play.
Yeah.
And Ishwak, our new and bright Patal Lok fame, amazing actor. It was great fun overall.
True.
I
And
spoke
Ishwak, as I said, as you also haven't taken a pause this year. I mean, during this pandemic, so we saw
I
you in
know I'm
Pataluk and now
speaking about all these people. I wish I kept. Sorry.
so you're the ray of light in this story, in this 25-minute long story. So when Nikhil came with this character, and you don't revolve around her character, but you're the person who actually helps her tide through her times. So tell us a bit about that.
So subject of, I mean, of course, something like that. I mean, the places where you just submit with Nikhil, so I have that kind of a thing. Love, adulation, and reverence. The movies have inspired me. The films that kind of wanted me to be an actor, and that's how I got started initially. Certain films really touched me, and I was like, it'd be so cool to be doing this. So it's that
I
kind
feel
of.
so old. I feel so old when a young boy suddenly says that he needs to become an actor. Arey yaar, I have a long way to go. I still have to make some films. Ishwak, we are making a couple of them together. So
I meant like, so I mean, yeah, when I was out of college. So it wasn't like I was in school when I saw like those are the, that's the moment. वो कीड़ा तो acting का बचपन से ही होता है. तो मुझे 3 साल से मैंने करना तो यही है. ये act word बहुत अच्छा है. ये actor जो है. तो लेकिन ये है एक मोमेंट होता है कि आपको जंप लेनी होती है. वो कुछ ऐसी चीजें थी. तो it's amazing. So I was like, this is going to be amazing. But that, I mean, the thing is that when I read the script, it's just the amazing thing about writing is that's like, first of all, that's like that unadulterated, that relation between the actor and the text, and it kind of sends you to different places, inspires you to explore, makes you aware of cultures, different aspects of life. It would take me to inspire me to read stuff, interact with people, whereas this, it was so amazing. That was just all along. It was just like it just sent me back to down the memory lane. You spoke about hope. How we've all been knocked down in life. We've all kind of felt the need to seek help, and I've seen myself on both sides of the fence, right?
Yeah.
Giving that and sort of wanting that. And it's amazing how sort of the world is designed in such a way that there's always someone. In my case, I'm fortunate, there's this one person who just pops up every time. I'm like, since I was a kid, my mom, she just got to know. She would just get to know. Like even if I was in another country, she would call me. It was just, there's this amazing connection that we had. So that thing in my life was very inspiring. But other than that, there's something, I think the third thing, which I think is something that I got more aware of. I mean, I was kind of probably subconsciously knew that this exists, but the third thing is that something that you have within, and whether it's, you call it hope, ummeed, that strength, courage, the willpower to sort of tackle situations, all the experiences you've had, and it's actually the knowledge of whatever the good things and the blessings and all those things that you've gathered all along. The thing that you have is enough for you to fight anything. Is
True. Very true.
what I really got a sense of while doing this.
True.
Yeah, it was very personal, very felt, very internal. Had a great time. I loved working with Richa. I mean, this has been like also like a sort of and I told her
this is
like,
also a dream. This is also a dream to work with Richa.
वो dream है, बिल्कुल है, dream come true moment सारे. No, but
Awesome.
really, it's
रिक्शासन सीख लिया वैसे रिक्शासन सीख लिया
सीख लिया कि नहीं ईश्वर?
मैं अब योगा के बारे में क्या बोलूं? तो आपको ये फिल्म तो आपको पता ही है, मेरा स्टैंड, मेरा टेक क्या है.
True. But it's interesting. Like I've spoken to the two of them. Nikhil has been too busy to speak to me, but finally I pinned him down here. But now we're seeing a lot of short films and short formats, anthologies. Do you think this format is now here to stay?
So first of all, I don't know why you're saying I've been too busy. They told me to
हम मिलते
come
नहीं
on.
मिलते
अरे
नहीं हो सर,
impossible है यार,
बिल्कुल नहीं
क्या
मिलते
क्या
हो।
कुल
रोज आ जाता है अनाउंसमेंट, एमए एंटरटेनमेंट ये कर रहा है, मैं निखिल सर का, निखिल सर बहुत बिजी हैं।
अरे that's impossible. Take my number and you can call me anytime. Please.
Done.
They are keeping me away from you for some reason, Pooja. I don't know why.
Oh,
So,
पक्का
so no,
पक्का
no.
करते
I
हैं।
think the short film format has always been there. I mean, if you look at, I mean, I think most directors enjoy this whole short film format primarily because it saves them from the whole rigmarole of the race, the rat race of commercial success and box office success, because you can really just sink your teeth into something that you really want to say, right? And most, I mean, at least on a personal, from a very personal. So yeah, whether it's here to stay or not, I feel it's always been there. Whether it is Anurag who's been doing it, and Anurag they did it with Love Stories, and they did it before that and they did it with Ghost Stories right now, and I think a couple of other anthologies also came out before this. And I mean, just look at. I think the star bestsellers which were there right in the early 2000s, late 90s, things where Sriram and Digmashana, everybody, all of them have always done these shorts, and I think that the shorts are very important. I hope that they're here to stay. I think more and more, I know at least personally, more and more filmmakers will want to do shorts.
Richa, what about you? We just saw the trailer of Shakila that's been released, your full-fledged feature film, and here is a short film. 25 minutes में बहुत कुछ कह डाला. For an actor, is it challenging and liberating as well?
I loved it because first of all, because to play this depressive, suicidal person who's, just gotten a really huge emotional shock, I didn't have to do any prep. In the sense that all my reaction had to be very in the moment, I didn't have to do some method training or Nikhil, why? I don't know why you're laughing as though.
Yeah, I know. Why did he laugh actually? Does he know something? Like क्या? Caroline के कितने boxes खा लिए थे रिचा ने? ये बता दो.
नहीं,
No,
नहीं.
बिल्कुल नहीं, absolutely नहीं. I think a big part of what Richard did, I think helped her, was the whole mandate, right? That there could only be 10 people on set. So suddenly it was very quiet. The set turned out to
Very
be extremely
intimate.
quiet. Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
And that's for me actually, Pooja. That was a big celebration. That when Amazon came to me and said this is the mandate, and they looked at me and they said, "Will you be able to do it?" I think I turned and said, "Okay, 10 से नहीं होगा, शायद 12 लोग से करना पड़ेगा." But what it helped me is also to tell my own production, right? Because constantly we are surrounded by 150 people, and we are just screaming and shouting and get everybody off the set, get everybody out of the, because you eventually at that moment you just want to be with the actor. You don't want anybody else there. So it really was extremely a very good experience for me.
जी जी. जी रिचा, आप क्या कह रहे थे?
यही कह रही थी.
Before he started laughing.
I was saying this only, that I didn't have to do much prep. There was hardly any dialogue for me. I mean, there was no other human beings also. It was really fun to work in that space. And yes, the whole shoot had such few people that it was easier to get into this mind space and work. I thought it was a fantastic team. Just 6 people. Camera, focus puller, sound person, actor, director.
Wow.
So yeah, that
So
was
talking to each other through masks, what was that like? I mean, this just could be, it is our new normal.
I mean, जब तक yeah.
उसमें आप गार्ड भी तो देखते हैं हम, शील्ड पहना हुआ है. I don't know, this just might stay for some time.
Yeah, but I think that I mean, the COVID protocols on an Amazon set is so, I mean, right now, even now when we are supposed to be doing some kind of, promotion and all that, you have to test, you have to make sure that you're on mask and face shield, etc., etc. But I think that we had, made that bubble, which and to give Richa that kind of absolute confidence, so that she was the only one actually who was taking that mask off, right? Because at the end of the day, I think that for me, Pooja, the stress was in those two these things where she's actually trying to hang herself, right? I mean, and knowing Richa, she actually goes through it and she's doing the whole this thing, and it's not as it. And even if we are telling her, no, you have to make it, you have to make believe. She's going for it, right? And then she's rocking that chair and all that. I was like, "What the galti se kuch ho gaya?"
Yeah.
It was a big stress for me.
My God.
And I know that she had to actually walk away after she did both those sequences, and she wanted to be by herself for some time because it was really very. We didn't do anything. We just kept the camera. Everything she's doing over there, right?
Oh my God. That was stressful. But है ना, Ishwak आ गया ना वहाँ पर उसी time. घंटी बज जाती है.
वो तो एडिट में पता चलता है ना घंटी बज रही है, but when she's going through that whole notion,
I can,
it was very surreal. It was very
I
surreal and
can
very
imagine.
very creepy. Yeah, yeah.
I can imagine. Isha, what about you? What was it like, a short film after your series we just saw?
Amazing. It's like, short format is just like a short play as opposed to a full length play. Something I think that has an immediate impact. Something which is, well, that would, like a longer format, would get you thinking, has like lots of ups and downs. This is like something which is, we just connect with people at a very human, emotional level. Uh, this is so powerful. I mean, this it's also, and also it's the kind of subject that it is, the writing that it is, that it just kind of it stayed with me. I'll tell you, short or long. I mean, that's one thing. The story is so powerful. It stayed with me. I kind of, every now and then there's certain things, that the interaction, the final interaction that they have. It's just something that, because it was so close to my heart and so personal, and things that I've experienced or felt, that it's amazing, how sometimes the character gives you so much. You give the character something, it gives you, and it just stays with you like a nice, sweet memory. So it's there. I mean, I'm kind of enjoying it. It's like a kind of a high of the whole story, the apartment.
Yeah. Also, Richard, like I was just reading, like they're doing the wrap of the year that was 2020 has been the year when actually women characters have been the most strongest across platforms. Do you agree with that? It's actually the year of the women on the OTT platforms.
Yeah, I mean,
I like the way she says, yeah, I mean, we need to see more.
I feel like in the last few years, we constantly talk about this trend that
Yeah.
women characters are being better written, and
Yeah.
look at these performances in these films. And I just feel like it's not a trend anymore. It's here to stay. So yeah, across the board, if they're being written better, it's a great thing. But
Yeah.
I still think we have a long way to go.
Totally agree with that.
Yeah.
And Nikhil, for somebody who works with the feature films बनाते हो इसमें star driven होते हैं, but OTT platform everyone's embraced because as you said there is no box office का झमेला, no like first day first show your film being written off or being praised. Also a lot of talent, everyone has got something to say. What do you make of this platform, or
No,
do you
I
think it has
mean,
upended the star system?
no, totally. I mean, I want to just encourage it. Yeah, in the sense that I'm turning 50 next year. I want to make the I want to tell the stories that I want to, that I constantly procrastinated telling, because I just keep feeling, okay, नहीं, इस बार ये कर लेते, 100 करोड़ का पिक्चर कर लेते, नेक्स्ट टाइम जो स्टोरी कहना है, जो फिल्म बनाना है, तब बनाते. I think it takes a lot of, it's very ballsy for my contemporaries and peers who have been doing it for the last, ever since they started, whether it's Kashyap, whether it's Advani, whether it is Hansal, all of them have been doing it, right? And so I think that, I mean, I totally celebrate it. I mean, the ability to work, I mean, you can reach on a, like Richa said, you can reach a set, and you got a three page monologue, and Richa comes to you possibly and says, I don't want to say anything in this thing. I say, okay, fine, because you just know she'll be able to do it without saying anything, because she's such a phenomenal actress, right? She'll just be able to do the entire scene. She'll be able to convey whatever was being said in those 3 pages of words with just an expression. And that just is something that sets you free as a director, as a filmmaker.
Yeah. You have to make a feature now.
I know. But what about you, both you actors also enjoying this whole OTT boom that's happened? If it wasn't for it, पता नहीं क्या करते हम इस lockdown में.
Yeah, I mean, artists are non-essentials until there's a pandemic, and then you're glued to your screen watching artists.
Artists are the ones who have actually come to our rescue, as they said. I mean, celebrate them, celebrate art and artists.
I really enjoy. I think this is if the cinema people don't lower their ticket prices and the popcorn and all, I don't know, then we'll have a really tough time. Ab to Spielberg ne bhi bol diya. So OTT is really, there's so much variety. It's so easy. You can watch it from the comfort of your house. Cinema will have to buck up, and although all of us are nostalgic about films, and the cinema experience. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this OTT boom because it lets me see people like Abhishek Banerjee, Ishwak Singh, and Pratik Gandhi. I love watching new colleagues, actors, and collaborators. It's great.
Yeah. Ishwak, batao.
OTT is, yeah, definitely. I mean, I think I was never like this. This is problem that I don't watch too much stuff, but then I started watching a lot more ever since there's been great content. It's just easily accessible. It's right there. You can sort of watch it. So I was scared of watching horror movies, but I've watched the scariest films because
You're living a horror, yeah. Horror picture क्या देखना?
करके मैं देखता हूँ. तो अपनी कन्वीनियंस पे टाइम के हिसाब से एक बार में जाके देखने में तो थोड़ी हिम्मत चाहिए होती है ना. तो हाँ, उसने मुझे हॉरर फिल्में देखनी सिखा दी. इससे ज़्यादा क्या हो सकता है? It's here to stay,
Yeah. Thank you so much. Before we wrap, वो आपका तीनों का कौन सा moment था where you actually decided to pause and take a break? The unpaused moment in your lives.
Pooja, I haven't taken a break yet. I really want. I want to pause. I mean, I just decided during the when this whole lockdown happened that we need to don't look at it at all as something that is going to be so detrimental in our lives. We need to use the time and we need to consolidate stuff. Right? So we've just been doing that. I mean, for me, the minute the call came from Amazon, the thing was that who are the actors I can work with. I called up Richa, I called up Ishwak, I called up Singh. We just jumped into it. So yeah, I have not paused at all.
रिचा बता, आपने भी pause नहीं लिया है?
नहीं, मैंने लिया बीच में. I got really sick of all the household chores and I was like, मैं ये करने बॉम्बे नहीं आई हूँ. So in the lockdown, I think when the food delivery services at least started, I was like, okay, let's put our lives at risk and order some food and take a break and read a book or just relax. So yeah, I mean, I did take many pauses in this. I even took afternoon naps. I had fun in the lockdown because I had privilege protected. I didn't have to worry about salary, job, and the only thing I worried about was the state of the nation. But अब वो तो सब चलता है.
सही. True. बताओ ईश्वक, आपने लिया pause?
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe my life is, मतलब actor की life ऐसी start stop ही होती है because see, I mean, you got to work like this work happening like when you kind of working on a project. Otherwise, it's pretty much for me. It's always been like just working on basics, right? So it's that reading. It's like, so for me, I'm like, I tell myself, you call yourself an actor, you haven't read a lot of Shakespeare. What kind of an actor are you? So it was my moment to kind of work on fundamentals, on the basics, things that I want to do, just exploring different forms of martial arts, dance, all the things that, I generally won't believe that is my core. And I kind of got a little more time to do that. And yeah, I mean, that was pretty much it.
Anyways, thank you very much. And I actually really enjoyed the apartment. And as Richa said, she did not finish that box of pralines, which I was like eyeing at. Or after
I don't have a sweet tooth. They were all quite surprised to me. वो शॉर्ट ही एक चॉकलेट खिलाने वाला, उसको मैं बाद में थूक दिया था.
What a waste.
For you, nothing was wasted. Everybody had a great time.
I'm sure they did, and it reflects in the film you've made. It's very telling, and thank you so much. All the very best. And Nikhil sir, अब बस इसके बाद available हो जाना.
अरे मैं बिल्कुल available.
ठीक है. Okay, thank you. Bye. Take care. Be safe, everybody. Happy New Year. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.